Welcome back to another edition of Chalk It Up Sports, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge it to the game. You already know how I give it up. I'm your guy, Tone DeShields II, and I appreciate you guys for locking in on the content. Make sure you guys smash that like button. Make sure you guys also subscribe to the channel if and only if you like the vibes, if you like the energy, if you like where we're going with this thing. Smash that like button and make sure you're subscribed. And also on top of that, make sure you hit that notification bell. Y'all see the little bar at the bottom telling y'all what to do. Y'all understand what the problem is. Y'all understand what the call to action is. Smash that like button. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. And also make sure you guys hit that notification bell. Real quick, though, I want to give a shout out to some people we got in the live chat already. We got my man, Sir Roger. We got Trey979. We got Jinx Wolf in the building. We got 30 people in the live chat and counting. 30 people in the live stream and counting. And I can't thank you guys enough for always locking in on the content. It means a lot to me. But your Philadelphia Eagles, man, they always find a way to stay in the news. Do they not, or do they really? Always find a way to stay in the news. They always find a way to stay ahead of the curve. That's what makes the Philadelphia Eagles one of the most fascinating franchises in the NFL. You see, just when you thought they were down, they find a way to get back up. Just when I thought they had no path, all of a sudden, Howie Roseman finds a way to bob and weave and stick and move. You follow me? See, I didn't let's just come off the top rope, right? I didn't think CJGJ was a possibility. I know the rumor was heating up. I know a lot of people was talking about potentially him making a return to Philadelphia, right? That was the rumor. But just based off how everything ended the year prior, how everything ended in 2022 or in the 2023 offseason, I didn't think that relationship could be mended. But at the same time, when the money is right, that put a lot of smile on people's faces, does it not? So let's just go through some of the details, right, before we get too deep. Let's do some more shout outs. Ryan Rowe, welcome to the show. Eric Stewart, thank you for supporting me, my man. I got you. I'll hook you up with that rent sooner or later. I got you, my man. I got you. I ain't gonna forget about you. My man PFT, Coach Marcus, what's going on, sir? Always grateful to be in the presence of you guys. So listen, man. Like I said, when it came to the CJGJ move, for one, it's good to see him back. He brought a lot of intensity, brought a lot of athleticism and playmaking to the Eagles defense in 2022. But I just didn't think it was a possibility. Mainly because things didn't end well when that season ended, right? The Eagles lost the Super Bowl, obviously, and the Philadelphia Eagles tried to make CJGJ an offer, but he didn't take. He wasn't happy with the offer that he was initially offered in the 2023 offseason. Remember, they made him an offer, but he didn't like the terms. He didn't like the numbers. That's what can be surmised, right? That's what we can assume. He didn't like the numbers they put on the table, and he felt disrespected by the numbers, right? So the Philadelphia Eagles and CJGJ decided to go in a different direction. CJGJ ended up signing a 1-year, $8 million deal with the Detroit Lions, who ultimately made it to the NFC Championship. Lost, unfortunately, but they made it there, somewhere that we really didn't think they were capable of. But lo and behold, that's what happened. And the Philadelphia Eagles ultimately ended up signing James Bradbury to an extension, and also restructuring Darius Slay and extending him as well. So the Philadelphia Eagles did want CJGJ back. They did want him back, but it had to be under the right terms. And the terms, clearly, they didn't see eye to eye on those numbers, hence why he went to Detroit. Now, he's back. Talk about spinning the block. You see where I'm from. You only get but so many opportunities to spin the block. And lo and behold, CJGJ spun the block. The Philadelphia Eagles spun the block, and here we are. They managed to find some common ground. The Philadelphia Eagles signed CJGJ to a 3-year, $33 million deal. And like I said, I got to admit, I didn't think it would happen because of the nature of the breakup. I didn't think it was a possibility because of that. I thought they would probably go for a different safety, right? That's what I thought. But he's here. But I had my concerns, as I always do. You see, I'm always going to give you guys the positive side, and I'm always going to give you guys my concern side, right? I'm not even going to see negative. I'm going to always give you guys my concern side. I'm never going to lie to you. I'm never going to say something that I don't believe. I'm never going to make something up, right? I'm going to always try to be as eloquent and as honest as I possibly can. So here we go. Although CJGJ is returning to Philadelphia, we got to keep in mind, he has battled some injuries over the past couple seasons, has he not? Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, as productive as a player and as intense as a player that he is, he has battled some injuries over the past 2 seasons. If you want to be technical, he's battled injuries over the past 3 seasons. Over the past 3 seasons, he hasn't played more than 12 games respectively. In 2021, with his last year with the Saints, only played 12 games. Had 11 starts, but only played 12 games. In 2022, with the Philadelphia Eagles, only played and started in 12 games. I think he had a chest injury. No, he had a punctured lung or something like that. I can't remember what it was. He punctured something, or was it a ruptured spleen? I don't know exactly what it was. I can't remember. But he ruptured or punctured something. And he had it was a lacerated kidney, I think, right? Wasn't it a lacerated kidney? Nonetheless, he only gave the Philadelphia Eagles 12 games, came back for the playoffs, was effective, but he also gave you 6 interceptions through 12 games played for the Philadelphia Eagles. 6 interceptions through 12 games played, 8 pass deflections, 2 quarterback hits, 5 TFLs, 6-7 total tackles, 1 sack. You know, he was active for the Philadelphia Eagles playing safety. He was very active, but only gave you 12 games. And then in 2023, for the Detroit Lions, only was healthy enough to give them 3 games. Came back for the playoffs, had an interception, was effective, but only gave them 3 games. I think he had a torn pectoral, but came back for the playoffs. So here's the thing about CJGJ. As talented as he is, and I do think he's talented, I think he brings a moxie, a swagger to the Eagles defense. He brings athleticism, speed. He brings playmaking ability. He brings all those things. But can he stay healthy? Can he eat his Wheaties? Get that man some milk, because $33 million over 3 years, $11 million per season on average. You better earn that paycheck, player. And I like CJGJ. Again, when he was with the Philadelphia Eagles, I liked everything he brought to the table. Did I feel like he was a liability in run defense at times? Absolutely. But if the Philadelphia Eagles defense is doing what they're supposed to do, if the defensive line and the linebackers are doing what they're supposed to do, we ain't got to worry about CJGJ and run defense. You follow me? So, again, CJGJ brings athleticism, brings speed, brings swagger, brings a toughness to your secondary. He brings playmaking ability to your secondary, something that was not there last year. CJGJ had more interceptions through 12 games in 2022 than the entire Philadelphia Eagles defense did in 2023 through 12 games. You follow me? So he's definitely needed on this defense. But will he be healthy enough to make the impact that we need him to make? That's all I'm saying. The numbers made sense. Here's the funny thing about it, right? You know, you got some people saying, well, if the Lions offered CJGJ a 1-year deal, $8 million, I think it's funny how the Philadelphia Eagles spun the block and brought him back on a 3-year deal at $11 million per season. How come you couldn't get him back here on that same price tag the Detroit Lions got him in? Here's the difference. Right? Before I get into the difference, shout out to my man Joey Shakes, man. I appreciate you always for showing love. You always showed me love from the very beginning, and I'm grateful to you, my man, for locking in with me. I'm grateful for you for being here. I definitely would have to agree with you. This has been definitely one of the most exciting off seasons, one of the most exciting free agencies that we've seen for the Philadelphia Eagles. This off season rivals the AJ Brown, Hassan Reddick off season, does it not? Does it not? Does it not rival the AJ Brown, Hassan Reddick off season? It's up there. So we got to give credit where credit is due to Howie Roseman. Shout out to my man Joey Shakes, man. I'm always grateful for you. Always. So here's the thing. Here's the details about Chauncey Gardner-Johnson and how things fell to the wayside. The reality is the Eagles made him an offer. He didn't want it. He felt like he was worth more. He felt like he was worth more. I'm never mad at a guy for thinking he's worth more than what someone's offering. I'm never mad at a guy for wanting to get his money's worth. I'm never going to be envious or be mad at a guy for doing so. But the reality is, when he felt like he was owed more or he was worth more, and the conversation soured between CJGJ and the Philadelphia Eagles, when those conversations soured, things went left. No one wanted to have a conversation anymore. The Eagles went on to sign James Bradbury. They didn't waste any time. CJGJ ultimately overplayed his hand last offseason, did he not? He ultimately overplayed his hand. He thought he could get Jesse Bates type of money, or at least something close. That's what he thought. But the reality is he didn't get that. And he had to settle for a one-year approval deal in Detroit at $8 million per season. He had to settle for an $8 million one-year contract in Detroit. And he didn't even get a chance to maximize that $8 million because he got hurt. So then you spin the block with the Philadelphia Eagles. Now Howie Roseman has the leverage. Now the Philadelphia Eagles have the leverage in those conversations. Hey, CJ, we would love to have you back, but here's the thing. It's going to be on our number. We want you here for an extended period of time, but it's going to be on our number. We'll give you 3 years, $33 million. But I bet any amount of money, again, the contract is worth up to $33 million. That doesn't mean he's going to get that. I'm pretty sure the Philadelphia Eagles laced that contract with so many injury incentives. It's crazy. And that's what Howie Roseman does well. He knows how to handle the money. He knows how to finagle the contracts. He knows how to fudge up the numbers. That's what he does. Got to give credit where credit is due. Sir Jam, Eagles fan, Philly, born and raised. Eagles fan, Philly, born and raised, living in Cali. Glad you're back, my dude. Listen, it's good to be back, Sir Jam. It's good to be back. Trade 979. I think Howie is giving the players what they wanted this time around. I don't know. I wouldn't say necessarily giving them what they wanted, but I think he's towing the line very well. He's towing the line very well. My man PFT, CJGJ is in the same boat as Saquon, Swift, Sanders, and even CMC in San Fran. He's worth the gamble. I agree. He's worth the gamble. He brings a lot of athleticism, speed, all that playmaking to the Eagles, something they was missing. Got to give credit where credit is due. I'm definitely not going to act like he's not worth the gamble. My man Cody Figueroa, you already know how we give it up, little bro. Tell my man Fig, I said, what's up, man? Y'all already know. Uncle Cody. He said, yo, Tone, you don't think they put something in his contract for the amount of games he played? Absolutely, Cody. Absolutely. Absolutely. They got that thing laced with so many injury incentives. It's crazy. I read somewhere that only $11 million of the contract is guaranteed. I could be wrong, though. I can't find this. Maybe somebody misspoke or miswrote, but I heard or I read somewhere that the contract only has $11 million guaranteed. Remember, the contract is worth up to $33 million. Up to $33 million. The Saquon Barkley contract, it's worth up to $46 million. But he's only guaranteed 26. That's the thing we got to keep in mind, you guys. The guaranteed money. And also, Howie Roseman does an amazing job at front loading the contracts. He gives you your money up front. He puts the heavy cap hits on the back end, and he finds a way to manipulate it when it's time. So in theory, you got Saquon Barkley for 2 seasons at $13 million. CJGJ, in theory, you got him for a season and guarantee money, in theory, if things work out. You see, Howie Roseman this is a classic case of CYA, covering your ass. He does an amazing job at that. Just when you throw Howie Roseman in the dumpster with the bath water, all of a sudden he finds a way to resurge. This is what he does. This is what he does, man. But he gets cocky sometimes. And that's the one trait about him I don't like. He can get a little cheeky. Saquon Barkley. That's funny. CJ is a straight up playmaker. Absolutely, man. 6 interceptions through 12 games in 2022. Got to give credit where credit is due. Mike Scazzaro, thank you, man. I appreciate you. Thanks for locking in as always, my man. I appreciate you. Will Kelly, how you doing, man? Thank you, my man. I appreciate it. You know, shout out to Kobe. The Lakers better do a better job of getting that statue situated. That statue hardly even look like him. That's just my opinion, though. But shout out to Kobe. RIP to the GOAT. Deuce Spice, best free agency so far is the Chiefs, Eagles, Niners, and Redskins. Well, Commanders. But I feel you. The Eagles and the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes just did a restructure, giving them about $21 million in cap relief. I mean, when you the franchise guy like that, when you a Patrick Mahomes type of player, you ain't worried about the cap space. You're gonna always get your money no matter what. Sir Jam, yo, Tone, I've been following my Eagles since the Jaworski era. What you think about this coming season? We slipped in 2023. Slipped ain't the word, brother. Slipped ain't the word. We bust our ass. This ain't that wasn't a slip in 2023. 2023 went beyond a slip. Okay, they was skating on thin ice. You know what I'm saying? But to your point, though, shout out to the OG Eagles fan following since the Jaworski era. Man, see, I was born in 1994, so I can't give you that kind of insight. But I always got a lot of respect for the Eagles fans that had to go through the trenches and survive the dark days, the dark years. I can only imagine what you felt like when the Eagles won the Super Bowl in 2017 or 2018, however you want to describe it. But but prior to this free agency, I'll be honest with you guys. Prior to free agency, I had the Philadelphia Eagles as like a 9-win team. Prior to free agency, because I had concerns, and I still do, especially on the defensive side of the ball. But they've got better. They got better on defense. You sign edge rusher Bryce Huff to a 3-year, $51 million deal. You sign a linebacker from the Saints in Zach Bond, who's looking to break out. He's ascending. He's trying to get an opportunity. He's hungry to prove that he can be a starter. So he's going to push Nakobe Dean. He's going to push Patrick Johnson. He's going to push all those guys. So you sign Zach Bond from the Saints. The Saints have historically had good defenses regularly. And based off of the things that I've read about Zach Bond and the things that I've seen in terms of how he was handled in New Orleans, he's a player that they liked. According to Ross Jackson, who covers the Saints for SI.com, Zach Bond was he was an undervalued impact player for the Saints, especially in 2023. They used him as a pass rusher sometimes. They dropped him back in coverage. He was versatile. He played a lot of special teams for him. So I'm curious to see what Zach Bond from the Saints can do for the Philadelphia Eagles on a 1-year deal. He's looking to be the man. And if he plays his cards right, hey, he could be a starting linebacker for the Philadelphia Eagles. And then you bring in Matt Hennessy to solidify that offensive line. Half starting experience, but missed the entire 2023 season because of a season-ending injury. Has guard and center experience. Could he compete with Tyler Steen for that right guard spot? Absolutely. We'll see. But I'm more optimistic about this season now than I was prior to free agency. Like I said, prior to free agency, I had the Philadelphia Eagles being like a 9-win team. You guys can look it up. That was my thought. Now, after the moves they've made, still, I would like to see more moves on defense. I need more moves at linebacker. Don't get me wrong. I need more linebacker moves. But so far, they're trending in the right direction. You brought in a versatile DB in Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. You brought in Bryce Huff. You brought in Zach Bond. So you brought in an edge rusher, a linebacker, and a very versatile DB who can play corner. Who can play nickel, and he can play safety for you. He's proven to do both things. If you like if you like who you have at slot, you can move him to safety. If you like your safety depth, you can have him at nickel. You have versatility with CJGJ. So far they're trending in the right direction. I need to see one more move at linebacker for me to be more confident. Maybe another safety move. I need more on defense. Maybe you bring in another D lineman. I don't know. We also don't know what the future holds for Hassan Reddick and Josh Sweat. One of those guys aren't going to be here come the 2024 start of the season. One of those guys aren't going to be here. So I'm more optimistic about the season now. Prior to free agency, had them as a 9-win team. Now, I think they're about an 11-win team now. I think they're about an 11-win team right now. 10 or 11 win, like an 11-win team. I think that's reasonable. But then the Saquon Barkley move is insane. That might bump it up to 12. I think the Philadelphia Eagles right now are an 11 or 12-win team, give or take. That's me being critical, me being objective. Saquon Barkley says, remember that terrible Sean Taylor tribute? Oh my God, that was awful. That was awful. That was awful. My man Cody says, of course I will, but hope all is well. Hope you're good, but you think how we make him? Oh, yeah, definitely, Cody. Definitely, man. I definitely think Howie's making another move. I think the next move is either going to be another linebacker or another safety. That's what I think. The next DB move is going to tell us where CJGJ is playing. If they bring in another nickel, then CJGJ is going to be a safety. If they bring in a safety, then likely CJGJ could play the nickel. But then again, what's the future hold for Reed Blankenship and Sidney Brown, right? Will one of those guys be in the backfield with Chauncey Gardner-Johnson? That remains to be seen. Sidney has to bounce back from an injury, an ACL. Reed Blankenship, he lacks athleticism, but he knows how to play the position and he tackles very well, very physical. So it all remains to be seen. But I think Howie is going to make more moves. I think they're trying to get another linebacker in the building. You can't go into the season with Nakobe Dean, Julian Okora, who else? Patrick Johnson and Zach Bond. You gotta have another body back there that's reliable. James Gatling, welcome to the show, my man. He says, Tony, your thoughts on Justin Simmons and Devin White. Glad you're back. Thank you. Glad to be back, my friend. It means a lot for you being here. Thank you. I like Justin Simmons. Has always been a productive player, but he's 30, 31. That can be a little discouraging for me. The fact that he's 30, 31 on the back nine of his career, I don't want to pay another aging safety. That's just my opinion. I'm not doubting Justin Simmons' talent, but how much does he have left in the tank? What kind of season is he coming off of? Let me see. Let's see what kind of season he's coming off of. Okay, so he's coming off of a Pro Bowl season. He was second team All-Pro. Okay. I gotta respect that. He was second team All-Pro. Wow. from 2019 and up until 2023, he's either been a Pro Bowler or second team All Pro. I gotta give credit where credit is due. But he is 30. And when the season starts, he's likely going to be, when the season starts, he's going to be 31. So how much money do you commit to a 31-year-old safety? He's historically been healthy. 2022 battled some injury, but in 2021 was healthy the entire season. 2023 only missed 2 games. 2020 missed 1 game. So he's been a second team All Pro or a Pro Bowler over the past 5 seasons. You can't overlook that. But 31 years old, 31 years old is something that scares me off a little bit. You know what I mean? J Trap 717, Simmons doesn't need a long-term contract. See, that's what you think. But the reality is, what does he want? Don't forget, we talk about need a lot, but what does he want? What does he want? What is he looking for? That's what it's going to look like. Lon Bigaman says, how old was Dawkins when he left? Oh, that's a good question. I think Dawkins was like in his 30s, right? And then he had a Pro Bowl year with the Broncos. Hey, look, I'm not saying it's impossible for a guy to play well at age 30, 31, 32. I'm not saying that's impossible. But it's all about the number for me. If the number makes sense, I'm willing to take a risk. Just how when we traded for Kevin Byard, I wasn't mad at that trade at all. I respect the swing. So I'm not sitting here trying to say, oh, once you hit 30, you can't play. I don't believe in that. But the money got to make sense. When you get to a certain age in the NFL, I need to make sure the money makes sense. That's what I'm saying. Now, look, it's not my money. It's not my money. But I'm not signing Justin Simmons to a long-term contract. He might get a 2-year deal out of me. At the most. He'll get a 2-year deal out of me. With the first year being fully guaranteed. That's the most he's getting out of me. He's not getting 3 years from me. He's not. He's not getting 2 years from me. Cody says, there's all this hype around Justin Simmons, but how would you feel about Eddie? I don't want Eddie Jackson because he's dealt with foot injuries over the past couple seasons, Cody, and he is familiar with Vic Fangio. I'll give him that. He's very familiar with Vic Fangio. But the fact that he's dealt with foot injuries over the past 2 seasons consecutively, let me make sure I got this right. He's dealt with some foot injuries consecutively over the past couple seasons. Yes, so in 2023 only played 12 games. In 2022 only played 12 games. In 2021 played 14 games. So over the past 2 seasons, he's only been able to give you 12 games a season. And it's always been the same nagging injury, Cody. So I don't want to bring in a guy like Eddie Jackson, who's 30 years old as well, but he's dealt with more injuries than Justin Simmons has. And if I'm not mistaken, Justin Simmons has been in the league about a year longer and has been way healthier than Eddie Jackson. He's been over in recent memory. Justin Simmons has been more healthy than Eddie Jackson. So I can't ignore that either. But for me, it's always about the money. It's always about the money here. So let's see if we got any updates today. Let's see what we got going on. Because right now, the Philadelphia Eagles, to me, are looking like one of the sharpest teams in free agency right now. You bring in Saquon Barkley, 3-year, $37.75 million deal that could potentially be worth if he hits incentives. He's not going to hit all those incentives. That's my thought process. I don't think he hits all those incentives. On average, you got Saquon Barkley here on a $13 million annual salary. He has $26 million guaranteed. So you break that down, you're basically paying him for 2 seasons, and you can get out of it in the 3rd season if things don't work out. You got Bryce Huff, a young up-and-coming edge rusher, an ascending player who doesn't have as many miles on his body because he was a rotational edge rusher for the New York Jets. Managed to give them 10 sacks on only 42% of the snaps played. My only concern, can he be as effective when the snap count gets above 42%? Can he be effective if that 42% jumps to 60%? How effective will he be, right? So that's that. Then you bring in Zach Bond. I like that move. It's a low-cost, solid move. Low-cost, solid move. And then you bring in Matt Hennessy on the O-line. Low risk, high reward. Could compete for that starting right guard spot with Tyler Steen. Can definitely push him. Then you got the Jeff Stoutland effect. So everybody's going to be in peak form on the offensive line. So that's that. Here we are. Infamous 2K says, y'all should have picked up Jeremy Chin before he came to Washington. Hey, listen, man, I got to give Washington a lot of credit. Washington is making some low-key, sturdy moves. Got to give credit where credit is due. Infamous, you know I ain't ignoring you, man. Come on, man. I love you too much. You ain't shadow banned, dog. Mr. Carter says the D-line will be out of gas by the 4th quarter. I hope not. And we're going to talk about that too. We're going to talk about the future of this D-line. We're going to talk about Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, how much pressure is on those guys. Some people don't want to put the pressure on them, but the reality is there is pressure on Jordan Davis. There is pressure on Jalen Carter. And I'm not going to let anybody try to convince you guys otherwise. The pressure is on, especially now that Fletcher Cox has retired. That's something that can't be overlooked. Losing Fletcher Cox is major. The eye test told you he had a lot left in the tank. But here's the thing. When it comes to these players, man, it's not just about playing on Sunday. Playing on Sunday is the easy part. Playing on Sunday is the fun part. But getting up for those Monday through Saturday, that's the hard part. That's the tough part, man. Infamous is excited about his Commanders. I don't even really, bro. I need to honestly know: are you really a Commanders fan, or are you only just trying to spite us in this live chat? Because you've been confusing me. You was a Colts fan when Carson was there. Then you was a Commanders fan when Carson was there. Carson's no longer there, but you stayed a Commanders fan. Infamous, you got to clear it up for me right now. Clear it up. Clear it up, because you from the Philadelphia area, right? You from the Pennsylvania area. You got to clear this up for me. Are you really a Washington fan? Did you grow up a Washington fan, or is that just the Carson Wentz effect? Tell me, man. Help me understand. Will Benacore says, just tell them to do their job. Everything else will fall into place. Hey, man, that's what it come down to. Do your job and take care of your damn body. That's the thing. That was the biggest problem when it came to Jordan Davis. Where was the motor after week 12? Jalen Carter, same thing. Where was the motor after week 12? Jalen Carter, I gave him a little bit of a pass because he was a rookie. And that rookie wall is very real. But now I need to know where they motor at now. I need to know what the future holds for them, because they got some big shoes to fill. Jordan Davis, drafted 13th overall in the first round. Jalen Carter, drafted 9th overall in the first round. When you invest that type of capital into two players in back-to-back drafts, the writing is on the wall. It's telling you the future is now. They have to live up to the expectation. And like I said, Jalen Carter, rookie year, you ran into the rookie wall. I'll let you slide. But Jordan Davis, you were in year 2. And you played this, my friend. That first half of the season, you had us thinking, oh, this boy is here now. All of a sudden, fell off the cliff again. So this is year 3. Another important thing we need to talk about. Because Jordan Davis is entering year 3, the Philadelphia Eagles are going to have to decide at the end of the season if they're going to pick up his 5th-year option. And if he doesn't live up to expectation, if he doesn't play well, if that motor continues to fall by the wayside, they will not pick up that 5th-year option. And he will go into his 4th year on a lame duck contract, trying to prove it. That's what it comes down to. So the pressure is on Jordan Davis, without a shadow of a doubt. Infamous says Sam Howell is the GOAT, so I stick with Howell. Then I saw potential at Washington and said, I'm going to ride this out. You out of pocket. Infamous says factor cap. The Eagles don't draft well in later rounds. That's why I think you should be worried about y'all picks this year. I think that's cap. I think the Eagles struggle in the first round. I think the Eagles struggle in the first round, if you ask me. That's just my opinion. Because some of our best players have come, I believe. Well, hold on real quick. What's your definition of later round? Is it 3rd round or later? 2nd round or later? 4th round or later? What's your definition of later rounds? Before I continue. Daquan says, I'd rather have CJ over Jeremy Chin. I can understand. Jeremy Chin is a good player. CJ is a good player. But again, overall, CJGJ comes back to the Philadelphia Eagles. And I told you guys earlier on in the show, when we first got started, I didn't think it was really a possibility. I knew the rumor was heating up, but to me, I said to myself, didn't things sour? Didn't the relationship go bad? But at the end of the day, it's business. And when you realize it's not personal, I know some people believe business is always personal. And I can understand that sentiment too. But regardless of how it goes down, I thought things kind of didn't end well, and he would have wanted to go somewhere else. But the Philadelphia Eagles gave him an offer he couldn't refuse. Clearly gave him an offer he couldn't refuse. So now I'm looking at the depth chart. Let's look at the depth chart real quick. As of right now, on the offensive side, you have Jalen Hurts at quarterback, Saquon Barkley starting at running back, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Devontae Parker in the slot, Dallas Goedert at tight end, Jordan Mailata at left tackle, Landon Dickerson at left guard, Cam Jurgens at center, Tyler Steen at right guard. Could compete with Matt Hennessy. You got Lane Johnson at right tackle. Then on defense, you have Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, Hassan Reddick, Josh Sweat, Brandon Graham, Bryce Huff, Milton Williams, Darius Slay, James Bradbury, Reed Blankenship, Keely Ringo, Nolan Smith, Zach Bond, Sidney Brown. See, they're getting better on defense. They're getting better. But I think they need more. They need more. And we still don't know who's going to be out. Will it be Hassan Reddick or Josh Sweat? That's the thing. We don't know who's in, and we don't know who's out. But I'm glad you brought that up, 007. We extended Jake Elliott. So as of right now, I think Howie Roseman is moving some stuff around to create space. But for what? What's the next move? I think they need to go linebacker. That's what I think. Infamous says Reddick and Sweat probably gone if not one of them are. No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. One of them is gone. Both of them aren't gone. That's not going to happen. One of them is definitely gone though. I'm just, at this point, I'm just not sure which one. But one of them is definitely gone. But also keep in mind, they're both technically still under contract. So we really don't know how this thing may end up. T's View says, are you going to be on at 2 p.m. every day? I'm not sure. This is just how it kind of fell these past few days. I'm not entirely sure. I haven't ironed out my schedule quite yet and when I'm going to be on. But just make sure you're subscribed and make sure you have that notification bell hit, and you'll be able to know whenever I go live, whenever I drop a video, whenever I put anything on the community page. Just make sure you got that notification bell, and you'll always know when I'm live. I don't have a ironed out strict schedule quite yet. I'm still getting the feel back. I'm still getting the feel for how things fit into my day to day. So, T, thank you for locking in, and I'm glad you're here. The funny thing is, I've always had this platform, but I took time away from it so I can help someone else build their platform, and that was the decision I decided to make. And things happen, and it is what it is. But I'm glad you're here, T. And just make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you hit that like button, and also make sure you hit that notification bell, and you'll know exactly when content is posted or when I'm live. Thank you so much, T. Cody says, do you think we make any moves at corner, or you think we keep it how it is? That's a good question, because I'm very low on James Bradbury right now, but the Philadelphia Eagles clearly feel like he's had a bad year, and they're going to ride it out with him. So, and then on top of that, you got Kelly Ringo, who came on towards the back end of the season, had some flashes, had some moments, still very raw, but had some moments. You got Eli Ricks, another player who's physical, who's not afraid to run with the best of them, still raw, but a talented kid. You got Sidney Brown back there as safety, athletic, but coming off of a torn ACL. Where is he in his recovery? So I think and here's another thing, you guys. We still got the draft coming up. And eventually I'm going to get into some of my favorite players in the draft that I want the Philadelphia Eagles to target. We're going to get into all that. But as of right now, I wouldn't be surprised if they draft a corner in the first round. I wouldn't be surprised. I also wouldn't be surprised if they drafted an O-lineman in the first round either. That's the thing about the Philadelphia Eagles. They value their O-line. They value D-line. And they're always going to make moves based off of that first. And if neither of those positions are available at where they're picking that makes sense at value, they're probably going to pick best available. And it could be a corner. It really could be. I think they're picking, 21st or 22nd in the draft right now. And we don't know what Howie Roseman is going to do on draft night. Could Hassan Reddick be traded on draft night? Could Josh Sweat be traded on draft night? It all remains to be seen. T says, Devin White, can we get him? That's a good question. That's a good question. See, Devin White, he has a name, but when you actually look up the numbers, the advanced stats, and I don't think this is the end-all be-all, but when you look up some of the Pro Football Focus stuff and some of the numbers that really dictate his performance, he really hasn't been playing at a high level. As a matter of fact, I think he got benched in 2023 for a while. So I don't know if Devin White is even that good. I know he's a name, But based off of his 2023 season getting benched, he wasn't even that good. He had that rookie year when they won the Super Bowl, and he hasn't really been that good since. He hasn't been good in coverage. So I think Devin White is somebody that the Eagles aren't even thinking about. He has a name. That's about it. He has a name. That's about it. EC1 Football says, I want Reed Blankenship off my team. We don't need him. Get Justin Simmons. Let Reed see free agency. Let Reed see the free agency market. You know, Reed Blankenship, let's keep in mind what Reed Blankenship is. He was an undrafted free agent, a guy who, whenever he had the opportunity, did his best to try to shore up the limitations. He has his own limitations, though, right? He's not the most athletic. He's not the fastest guy. He can be a liability in coverage because of his lack of speed. He doesn't have makeup speed. He doesn't have makeup speed at all. I would like Reed Blankenship playing closer to the line of scrimmage. I don't want Reed Blankenship in coverage. I wouldn't mind sending Reed Blankenship as a free blitzer, using him in a big nickel situation, but maybe as a pseudo linebacker at times. But Reed Blankenship is not athletic enough back there for me. He's not athletic enough. He doesn't have enough speed. He's a smart player. He knows where to be, but he doesn't have the foot speed to match the football prowess. So that's where I'm at with Reed Blankenship. He has limitations. But for the record, he did have the most interceptions on the team last year. Just saying. But I don't think he stinks. I'm not that far with him. I'm not that far with him. And also, he's a good special teamer. Well, EC1, here's the thing. You can't have stars at every position. You can't. I'm not saying you can't do better than Reed Blankenship, but what I'm saying is you can't have stars at every position. So you're going to always have to bend somewhere. Maybe he's not a legitimate star. He's not a starter on a Super Bowl caliber team. I'll give you guys that. Reed Blankenship is a fun player, but he's not a Super Bowl caliber player. He's not a Super Bowl. He's not the type of player that you want starting on a Super Bowl defense. And that's as far as I'll go with Reed Blankenship. Lon Bigeman says he thinks the Eagles go corner in the first and linebackers in the second. They do got 2 second-round picks. Will Howie Roseman use both of them, though? Cody, good pull by you. Good pull. I completely forgot about Isaiah Rodgers. There's a strong chance I completely forgot about him. There's a good chance Isaiah Rodgers can be the nickel, and then you have CJGJ at safety. I like Isaiah Rodgers. Stay away from FanDuel and DraftKings, though, buddy. Okay? Stay away from the gambling sites. That's my thing. Stay away from the gambling sites and we all good. But yeah, I like that. So you got Darius Slay, James Bradbury, Isaiah Rodgers, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, and the mystery safety. Who's that going to be? I know a lot of you guys want Justin Simmons. Nick says, did he get reinstated yet? I don't think he did. That's a good point. I don't think he got reinstated quite yet. Because I don't see him on the depth chart. Let me see. Okay. Yeah, he hasn't been reinstated yet. He hasn't. But I think he will be, though. I'm surprised that it's taken this long. But I think he'll be reinstated. King says he gets reinstated after today. Okay, cool. That's good to know. So there we go. How comfortable are you guys with this, with this DB room? How comfortable are you with these starting DBs right now? Darius Slay, James Bradbury, Isaiah Rodgers at the nickel, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson at free safety, and then your strong safety, Sidney Brown, if he's healthy enough, or Reed Blankenship, or a guy that you find in free agency. Chiney says, I don't trust Bradbury one bit. Look, I'm with you, my man. I'm with you. James Bradbury gave me the worst feeling in 2023. I don't trust James Bradbury at all. I don't trust that brother not one bit, and I don't mean no harm. I don't trust that man not one bit. Are you guys surprised that the Eagles didn't find a way to move him? Or was his value shot? Was his value shot after the 2023 season? Are you guys shocked that they didn't trade for him, or that they didn't trade him somehow? Because I think his value got destroyed. His value got destroyed. Chiney's it shot. Okay. Richard, it was shot. Okay. See, I do intermittent fasting, Infamous. I do a lot of intermittent fasting. I don't eat until after 11 a.m. That's what I do. Let's see here. Cody thinks he was in the wrong scheme. I mean, Matt Patricia definitely didn't help. Will says nobody wants bitter berries. y'all crazy, man. Oh yeah, Ramadan started, didn't it? Ramadan definitely started. I'm not Muslim, but salam alaikum. Okay, bet. Appreciate you, Infamous. Okay, got it. They're calling my man Dingleberries. Y'all crazy. But Cody, you're right though. You can't leave him on an island. That was idiotic. That was idiotic, man. Now you can't leave James Bradbury on an island with a rookie wide receiver. That's insane. It's insane. Let's go to Twitter real quick and let's see what's popping right now. Let's go to Twitter and see what's popping. All right, let's see here. Let's see. So nothing has happened quite yet. Yo, Giants fans are so upset that Saquon left. They're so upset. Why are they so upset when they didn't want to pay him? They didn't want to pay him. But they're mad he went to the highest bidder. I don't understand it. I do not understand what Giants fans are so mad about. Y'all didn't want to pay him. Y'all didn't offer him a contract. But they want to burn his jersey. They want to say he's dead to me. all that stuff. Y'all didn't offer him a deal. And look, here's the thing about it. Get mad at Joe Shane. Get mad at y'all GM for that. He decided to pay Daniel Jones. Make it make sense. I hate these damn emojis that pop up on the screen. Get mad at your front office who decided they didn't want to pay him in 2020. And they didn't want to pay him last season, and they didn't want to pay him this season. And he still showed up and played on the franchise tag. Come on, man. The Eagles offered him more guaranteed money. How can you be mad at it? He did what was best for him and his family. How can you be mad at the man? I'm not mad at Saquon Barkley, not one bit. Listen. If I don't know, Devontae Smith, right? Let's say Devontae Smith made the free agency and the Eagles didn't offer him a contract and he went to the Cowboys, right? Can I get mad at Devontae Smith for leaving when the Eagles didn't offer him a contract? When the Eagles allowed him to go to the Cowboys? When the Cowboys offered him the most money? And this is a hypothetical, but I'm just saying, can you get mad at a player when the team he played for didn't offer him a contract and a rival team does offer him a contract and then they gave him a lot of guaranteed money? Like, I can't be mad at that. This is a business at the end of the day. These organizations don't give a damn about the players. So why should the players give a damn about the organization? You know, as fans, it's baked in that we get mad at stuff like this. But I'm not burning nobody's damn jersey. I spent my hard-earned money on that one. Saquon Barkley gave the Giants 6 years. And he had no quarterback, no offensive line. He played with no real wide receivers. The defense was non-existent. And you want Saquon Barkley to play for pennies on the dollar? Wake up. It don't work that way. That man, 27 years old, he injected life into the running back market. Josh Jacobs injected life into the running back market again. So I'm not mad at it, man, and they shouldn't be mad at it either. Here's the thing about Tiki Barber, though. Tiki Barber, when he played, was a good player. He's the all-time leading rusher for the Giants. You know, he's qualified to speak on Giants issues. But the fact of the matter is, the Giants didn't offer him a contract. They didn't offer him no money. So therefore, he gets to go where he wants to go. He's a free agent. It's as simple as that. Take your feelings out of it. Don't be emotional. Take your feelings out of it. Let's do some shout outs, man. Shout out to my man Infamous 2K, Trey 979, Jay, T's Views, Richard Butts, Jinx Wolf, EC1 Football, Lon Bigaman, Candy McDaniel, Michael Dujon. Who else we got here? ADW The Beat, MJ. Who else we got? King DV Sports. My man, my brother, my little brother, Cody Figueroa, Nick N, Will Kelly, Chin A, all hands on deck. Who else we got in here? Matt Weeks. Shout out to you guys, man. Mr. Carter 7, Mitch Kofsky. Thank you for locking in on the content. Quadair Johnson. My man Joey Shakes. 007. Will Bendercore. Eagles 1. Spin a Bad. Daquan Barkley. Thank y'all. The Bull RJ, my man. Carl Ray. And all 249 of y'all that's rocking with me on Twitter, that's rocking with me on YouTube and Facebook. We got 167 viewers from Twitter. We got 82 viewers from the Chalk It Up Sports YouTube channel. Thank you guys for locking in, man. Thank you guys. Twitter been holding me down. We got 167 viewers from Twitter and 79 from the YouTube channel. That's fire to me. Infamous says, I've seen your wife graduated from Temple. That's what's up. I go to Temple right now. I'm a freshman. Oh, yeah, fresh meat. Okay. But yeah, man, she graduated with her master's from Temple University. She got her master's in counsel and psychology. So yeah, man. No, you all good though. It's all good. Listen, my Instagram is public. So it's like, I mean, it's there. It's public information. So you all good. Shout out to my man Ibrahim Shepard as well. You all good though, man. Yeah, she graduated from Temple U in Philadelphia. It was a long road, but she did it. And look, man, stay focused on them books, Infamous. Make sure you graduate on time. Yeah, I heard Barry Sanders had some nice words to say about Saquon Barkley. I ain't mad at it either. Richard Butt says, if we fail on offense, are we questioning Hurts' ability to lead us since we have all this talent? You got to. You got to question it. I think it also depends on like how the offense. That's a big if, but if and how they fail. I can't imagine his offense having another season like they did last year. I can't imagine it. I think the coaches was holding him back last year, and he didn't look comfortable out there. So I think he needs to get back to the fundamentals, to get back to the basics, and get back to playing the kind of football that makes him successful. Well, Kelly, are you talking about Jordan Poyer? Because I think Poyer signed a contract already. Poyer just signed a contract with who was it? The Steelers? I can't remember who it was. He signed a contract with, let's see here. Jordan Poyer, he signed a contract with the Dolphins. Jordan Poyer spent most of his career in Buffalo. It's crazy that the Eagles drafted Jordan Poyer in the 7th round. Yeah. He's Jordan Poyer plays for the Miami Dolphins. He signed a contract with the Dolphins. So he's not even available anymore. Cody says, I was hearing some buzz around Justin Fields and that the Eagles are interested in him. What are your thoughts? I don't like that, man. I don't like that, man, because I feel like that's a slippery slope. I don't know, man. That's a slippery slope to me. Soon as Jalen Hurts have a bad game, somebody gonna say, put Justin Fields in. Put him in. I don't know. That's a slippery slope. Justin Fields is electric, though. He is electric. I love his athleticism. I thought Justin Fields was either going to end up in Atlanta or Pittsburgh. Both of those teams decided to go with veterans. Pittsburgh, I mean, let's be honest. Pittsburgh, they had an opportunity that they couldn't refuse. They had an opportunity to get Russell Wilson at the veteran minimum, while the Denver Broncos pay him $38 million. Would you? And he's a veteran, and he has Super Bowl experience, and he's coming off of a pretty good season, in my opinion. Would you turn that away? I wouldn't. It's cheaper than everybody on the market, and you can get the most bang for your buck. And then the Falcons just decided to go all in with Kirk Cousins, which I didn't expect. I didn't expect him to get a 4-year deal from anybody. I expected a 3-year deal, but they gave him a 4-year deal with $100 million guaranteed. I think the entire contract, though, is $180 million. So I didn't really see that coming. I knew he would be available, but I just didn't think he would get that kind of money. Kirk Cousins has shown us a masterclass of negotiating contracts in the NFL. There's nobody I know who does business better than Kirk Cousins and his agent. Ibrahim Shepard, he says the ball is in Hurts' court to produce. If he has a lackluster season, Hurts' contract is set up to be trade-friendly. Howie's not stupid. Well, here's the thing. It's not going to be as trade-friendly as you think. On the deeper we get into that contract, the harsher the cap hits are. So I think they have to maximize the front end of this contract. They have about a 3 or 4 year window to maximize this contract. And I think that's why Howie Roseman is swinging for the fences. You can't play around with that. As the years go by, that Jalen Hurts contract is going to be more and more of a headache. But also, at the same time, the salary cap goes up. And if Jalen Hurts gives you a Super Bowl within the next 3 or 4 years, do you restructure and then extend? How do you make it work? How do you make it work? And Candy, you bring up a good point as well. He has I think he has a no trade clause, right? Let me make sure I double check that. Let me make sure I got that right. Let's see what we have here. Yep, he has a no trade clause. If they trade him, he has to decide where he goes. So Jalen Hurts has a lot of leverage in his contract. He has a no trade clause. In 2024, his cap hit is $13.5 million. In 2025, his cap hit is 21.7, still very manageable for the quarterback position. In 2026, the cap hit is 31.7, very manageable. And then it jumps tremendously in 2027 to a $45.8 million cap hit. And in 2028, the cap hit is 54.1. The Eagles aren't going to even allow themselves to even get to that point. So in theory, the Eagles have 2024, 2025, and 2026 to really, really maximize the value of Jalen Hurts' contract. They have between now and 2026 to really maximize that contract. Fields may be a fit, but I want to avoid any kind of turbulence. And here's the problem with the Bears. They missed the opportunity. They could have traded him sooner. I don't think Justin Fields' value goes up from here. I think his value actually goes down. Because let's think about the NFL. Let's really go through some of the teams. Who needs a starting quarterback right now? The Raiders decided to go with Gardner Minshew. Think about that. The Raiders decided to sign Gardner Minshew when they could have traded for Justin Fields. That tells you everything you need to know. What team really needs a starting quarterback right now? Washington. They need a starting quarterback because I don't think they trust Sam Howell. I think they know he's not the answer. They're either going to draft Caleb Williams or maybe trade for Justin Fields. But I wouldn't be surprised if Minnesota. Good call, Will Kelly. Good call. Could Justin Fields end up in Minnesota? Justin Fields, Justin Jefferson. Could that work? It's possible. Let's look at the draft spots right now. Let's see here. All right, here we go. So as of right now, let's see here. Here we go. Carolina, I can't. They're such idiots, man. But anyway, Chicago has the number 1 overall pick. Do they draft Caleb Williams and trade Justin Fields? And if they do trade him, who gets him? Or do they keep Justin Fields and Washington drafts Caleb Williams? How do we think this goes? Minnesota is at the 11th spot. Could they trade up to get maybe Jaden Daniels? Is it Jaden Daniels? New England needs a quarterback. Washington needs a quarterback. Chicago, it remains to be seen. The Giants are going to draft a quarterback. Chicago is sitting pretty, and then the Jets, I think they should probably draft a quarterback as well. I think they should. I think the Raiders should draft a quarterback. The Broncos need a quarterback. The Broncos. Could Justin Fields end up in Denver? Probably not. Benjamin Allen says he thinks the Bears keep Fields. He thinks the Bears keep Fields and draft Harrison Jr. That's what I think they should do. I'm not, and here's another thing too. I don't think Justin Fields should be traded. If I'm the Bears, I keep Justin Fields. I draft Marvin Harrison Jr. And if I can, I draft Brock Bowers as well. That's what I would do. That's exactly what I would do. I'm giving Justin Fields everything I could give him. Marvin Harrison Jr. You pair him with DJ Moore, and then you draft Brock Bowers. But I think they like Cole Kmet. Infamous says we're not trading Fields. We're not trading Fields, Tone. We getting Jaden Daniels or Drake May in the draft. Okay, so you're for one. So that tells me, Infamous, that you're not sold. You're not sold on Sam Howell, and that tells me that you think that either the Bears don't trade Fields, or if they do trade him somewhere else, they're going to draft Caleb Williams. What do you think? Which is it, Infamous? Which is it? It's not that I'm not sold on them. I'm telling you what the organization thinks. Ah, okay. All right. Okay, you're good. Hey, listen, man, you're smart, man. You're in college for a reason. You're a smart kid. You're smart. You're smart, man. Cody says Titans if they don't believe in Levis. See, that's another thing too, right? The Titans are interesting because how good can Will Levis be? He had flashes, but how good can he be? And they clearly don't believe in Malik Willis. Clearly. But overall, though, the Philadelphia Eagles, they're at pick 22. The Philadelphia Eagles are at pick 22. And I hate ads. There you go. The Philadelphia Eagles are at pick 22. Do they go corner? Do they go edge rusher? Do they go offensive lineman? Do they go D tackle? Again. Do they go linebacker? That's something to think about. Let's see. Let's see here. Lon Bingaman says, what if the Bears draft Marvin Harrison at 1 and a Dunze at 9? Ooh, that'd be crazy. Cody says, did we get rid of Penny and you think we make any picks at running back? I think we do draft the running back somewhere, but yeah, Penny is gone. Penny is a free agent. Penny is a long ride away from retirement. Benjamin Allen says, or how about this? Bears trade and swap picks with Panthers and get an extra player they need to help the roster out. That's interesting. Let me go back to the top and see what that looks like. See, why would the Bears trade with the Panthers again? The Bears had the Panthers' first-round pick. The Panthers have no leverage. The Panthers have no leverage. The Panthers don't have a first-round pick. Now, you bring up a good point, though. The bottom line is the Philadelphia Eagles, when the pick isn't obvious, they fumble the bag. They fumble the bag. Yeah. My wife already has her master's from Temple, so she's good on that. Me, likely, I'm cool. I'm cool off my master's too. So, once I got my bachelor's degree, I was like, all right, I think I'm done with school. Once I got my bachelor's degree. But I appreciate it, Infamous. Thank you. I appreciate that. But overall, man, the Philadelphia Eagles bringing back CJ Gardner-Johnson was a hell of a move. I admire how the Philadelphia Eagles treated it. I got to give respect. I got to give credit where credit is due. The reality is they addressed needs, right? The Philadelphia Eagles are, let's just start from the top, right? The Philadelphia Eagles, let's reset. Let's start on the defensive side, right? The Philadelphia Eagles didn't rush the passer as well as we thought they should have. So you go out and get an ascending edge rusher in Bryce Huff. You also go get a versatile linebacker who can drop back in coverage and also was used in pass rush situations in Zach Bond from the Saints on a 1-year deal. And then your DBs struggled to make plays. You lacked versatility back there. You spin the block and you find a way to get CJ Gardner-Johnson back on the books on a 3-year, $33 million deal. If I'm not mistaken, only $11 million of that contract is guaranteed. So you have leverage in the contract negotiations. So to satisfy some of your defensive needs at DB, you bring in CJ Gardner-Johnson. You bring in an ascending linebacker who played very well for the Saints on special teams and played very well for them when giving starting opportunities. He was an impact player for them, and he also rushed the passer for them as well in various situations. You get Zach Bond on a 1-year deal. I think they need more at linebacker, but I like Zach Bond so far. I think that's a solid move, but I need more. And then to satisfy your pass rush, you get younger. You add more size. You add more athleticism with Bryce Huff because there's a strong chance that you may be without either Hassan Reddick or Josh Sweat because both of those guys are entering contract years. So on defense, so far, so good. But I need another linebacker move or another safety move to make me feel comfortable. Most notably, I need another linebacker move because I don't trust Nakobe Dean right now. I don't trust his health. What's Julian Okawara going to do, right? I don't know how good or bad he is. He struggled to get starting time with the Lions. Couldn't really produce consistently for them. Battled injury. Patrick Johnson, a young, unproven player who's been in the league for about 3 seasons, maybe 4 seasons, I think, entering year 4. So you need more bodies at linebacker. And then you have Bryce Huff as an edge rusher who is taller, has more size than Hassan Reddick. He's an ascending edge rusher, provided 10 sacks to the Jets in a rotational capacity. Could he get better? Absolutely. He's younger. He's only 26. That's not bad. You're paying him $17 million a year. Not bad for an ascending edge rusher. He's not even getting paid in the top 12 at the position. So not bad. So far, so good on defense, but I need more. Now let's go to the offensive side. You bring in Matt Hennessy to supplement your offensive line, especially in the interior. You lost Sua Opeta, you lost Jack Driscoll, and you lost Jason Kelce to retirement. Cam Jurgens is going to move over to center, obviously. Tyler Steen and Matt Hennessy are going to compete for that right guard spot. So I like where the offensive line is right now. Cam Jurgens has to stay healthy. Tyler Steen, can he take his game to another level? Matt Hennessy, can he compete? It all remains to be seen. And then Saquon Barkley, the biggest name of the week that for the Philadelphia Eagles to sign. You see, although I have my own concerns about the Saquon Barkley move, and it's not because of his talent, it's not because of Saquon's lack of ability. I have concerns, or my concerns about the Saquon Barkley signing is, can he stay healthy? Which I think he can. Playing on grass instead of playing on that MetLife turf, I think he can stay healthy. Playing by the Eagles' offensive line, I think he can stay healthy. This would be the best offensive line he's played behind his entire career, the best quarterback he's played with his entire career, the best supporting cast between A.J. Brown, Dallas Goedert, Devontae Smith, and Devontae Parker, the best offensive skill group he's ever played with. So I think Saquon Barkley can stay healthy when he's not forced to be the guy on every play. But even beyond that, I had concerns about the Philadelphia Eagles and how they were allocating the money. I would have loved for them to go for a home run at linebacker. But when you think about the way the running back position performed in the grand scheme of the 2023 season, it was underwhelming. Did DeAndre Swift have a career year? Yes, he did. DeAndre Swift had a career year, which earned him a $24 million 3-year deal with the Bears at $8 million per season. Congratulations to him. But the reality is they needed more from that. They needed more explosion from that running back position. They needed more talent from that position. They needed someone who can actually block and pass protection, something DeAndre Swift, nor Kenny Gainwell, nor Rashad Penny were capable of doing. So with Saquon Barkley, you get a bona fide running back who's proven. You get a bona fide receiver in Saquon Barkley who's proven, can catch the ball from the backfield, the perfect security blanket, can run routes. And you get a bona fide pass protecting running back. So you get a triple threat. So that's what you pay for with Saquon Barkley. With $26 million guaranteed on a $37.75 million contract, potentially can earn 46, 47 million. So the average salary can be between 13 to 15.8 million. If he hits all the incentives, I don't think he will. So basically, the Eagles guaranteed Saquon Barkley $26 million, which averages out to $13 million over the first 2 years. If they don't like what they see, they can get out of it. You get a legit running back, a legit pass catcher, and a legit running back that can block in the pass protection. I like that number. I don't think, when I think about it from that perspective, I don't think they overpaid. I don't think they overpaid at all. Now that I break it down like that, when you think about what they've been missing from that position, did they really overpay? Think about it. Think about it. You get a legit running back who's proven, 27 years old, still in his prime. He can catch the ball from the backfield. So he's going to give you easily over 1,200 yards from scrimmage. Easily. He's a touchdown machine coming off of a 10 touchdown year. He catches the ball, runs the ball well, runs with power, runs with elusiveness and speed. Has that one cut ability. Can cut on the dime. And he can block. He can block. The Philadelphia Eagles, Jalen Hurts was the most blitz. I think he was ranked top 3 in being the most blitz quarterback in the NFL. Like, listen to this, man. Like, I can't make this up. I cannot make this up. I cannot make this up. I don't think they overpaid for that man. Y'all tell me, though. Do y'all think the Eagles overpaid for Saquon Barkley? And also, shout out to Lon Bigerman. That's a good point. CJ apologized to the fans. I respect that. But listen, when you get your money, it ain't hard to apologize to nobody, is it, when you get your money, right? It's never hard when you get your money. It's never hard to apologize when you get your money. Trey979 says no. Tell me why, Trey. Why don't you think the Eagles overpaid? Because I don't think they overpaid. But why don't you think they overpaid? I want to know your perspective. Nick N says they did overpay. Okay, why? Tell me why. I want to know why y'all. I want to know why you guys feel the way you feel. If you feel like they didn't overpay, or if you feel like they did. I want to know why you think that. That's all. Let's see here. Okay. Jay says, I don't care if they did overpay. It ain't my money to count. Hey, that's a good point, too. That's a good point. It ain't your money to count, right? It ain't your money to count. I ain't mad at that logic either. It ain't your money to count. All right. Antonio King says they didn't overpay. They did not overpay because Saquon is a Swiss Army knife. Do it all back. Absolutely. And he's a 3-down back as well. He's a 3-down running back. Trade979 says they did not overpay because he's a 3-down back. He's not playing in the Met Injury Stadium. That's a good point. People don't understand. MetLife is notoriously known around the NFL for being injury city. That MetLife turf has caused more injuries than I can count. Also, make sure you guys smash that like button. It means a lot to me. We got 267 people on the live stream. We got 191 people watching from Twitter. We got 76 people watching from YouTube. Thank you guys so much for locking in. Please hit that like button if you can. If you guys are on Twitter, make sure you guys subscribe to my YouTube channel, Chalk It Up Sports. The link is in my bio. So make sure you guys go check me out on there. it'll definitely mean a lot to me. If you guys all you guys on Twitter, we got 192 people watching from Twitter. We got 78 people watching from YouTube. All you guys on YouTube, make sure you guys smash that like button and make sure you guys hit that notification bell, especially if you like the energy, if you like the vibes, if you like the conversation. All you guys on Twitter, thank you so much for being here as well. You guys are definitely valued. Make sure you guys follow me on Twitter as well. Make sure you guys also click the link in my bio and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit that like button. It means a lot to me. Let's go on the like rampage, you guys. Let's do that. Make sure you guys also retweet the live stream if you want. If you guys got any questions for me, don't be afraid to shoot them on my Twitter page. Don't be afraid to reach out to me. James Jones says, Tone, how about my Washington Commanders? James, listen, y'all making moves. But y'all better get it right at the quarterback position. I'll tell you that. Y'all making moves. I give credit where credit is due. Y'all are making moves. Lon Bigeman says, I think they spent good money on the running back position. Paid one guy what they would pay three guys in the backfield. Here's the thing, right? You know, it's so funny you say that, Lon, because remember, they didn't want to give Miles Sanders that money. They didn't want to give Miles Sanders $6 million or $6.5 million. They didn't even want to give that to him. So they said, go ahead, you can take a walk and we'll bust down the money that you want and give it to four different running backs and go cheap. Remember, between DeAndre Swift, Kenny Gainwell, Boston Scott, and Rashad Penny, they were only spending about $7 million, $6.5 million. And the Panthers were paying Miles Sanders that money by himself. So the Eagles have regularly been going cheap at the position. And I respect them for taking the swing. I respect the swing. You know, again, you guys know my concerns. But I'm not mad at the signing at all. Jonathan Stokes says, I personally think Saquon can have the same season CMC had. I agree. Behind this team, I agree. You see, CMC in Carolina and Saquon Barkley in the Giants, they were carrying those teams. They had no offensive lines. They weren't playing with any real talent next to them, and they were going crazy still. Trey 979, sweet old Pennsylvania grass, just like college. Absolutely. Texas T says, I'll say maybe. I'm not sure. None of the other backs that are just as good didn't get as much. Do you think he's that much better than Henry to get as much more than he did? Well, here's the thing about Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry is older. Derrick Henry is 30, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Make sure I got that right. Derrick Henry is 30. Saquon Barkley is 27. So that's pretty much that right there, right? That's pretty much what that is. Derrick Henry is 30. So that's why he got what he got. Now, Josh Jacobs, he got more. I think he got more money than Saquon, if I'm not mistaken. Let me make sure I got that right. I think Josh Jacobs got more money than Saquon. All right, here we go. Let's see. All right, yeah, listen to this. Josh Jacobs signed a 4-year deal for $48 million. So that's an average salary of $12 million per year. The only reason Saquon at face value looks like he got more money is because of the years. When you give a player less years, you have to give them more money up front. That's just how that goes. The less years, the higher the salary has to be. So their contracts are relatively similar. And here's the thing: Saquon could potentially earn up to $46 million with incentives, but I don't think none of us think he's going to hit that. So as of right now, Saquon's contract is $37.75 million over 3 years, and Josh Jacobs is 4 years, $48 million. So Josh Jacobs on paper got more money. So I mean, Josh Jacobs is the one that really got the bag out of all the running backs. Cody says, I don't, depending on if they have any injury clauses. And it was said the third year is a team option, which also has the most guaranteed money out of all the 3 years. So yeah, he's guaranteed $26 million, right? You average that out, that's probably $13 million between the first 2 years. And the biggest cap hit is obviously in year 3. So they're only on the hook for $26 million. They're only on the hook for $26 million. And like you said, there's incentives in there. I'm pretty sure with injury, all that kind of stuff. Same thing with CJGJ and guys like that. So I'm pretty sure the Philadelphia Eagles did a good job hedging their bet. I think they did a good job hedging their bet. That's how I feel about it. Ken James, welcome to the show. He says, all y'all Eagles fans, y'all better be okay. Y'all better okay. Don't want to hear no excuse at all. Y'all got everything y'all wanted. Now let's see what y'all do. Okay, know this. Y'all going to lose when y'all play my Packers. Kenny James, man. Listen, I appreciate you for locking in on the content, man. I love how you just came in and dropped that gem and then go hit the deuces sign. You funny, man. That's funny as hell. That's funny as hell, man. James Jones said, Ken, y'all looking good, bro. Keep it up. Great moves. Yeah, listen, the NFC is getting better. The NFC is getting better. Lon Bigeman says, I'm a fan of Penn State also, so Barkley is 100% better than Miles Sanders, hands down. Absolutely. Miles Sanders played behind Saquon. He played behind Saquon. Jay says, I'm sure Howie can get out of the contract with minimal issues if need be. With Howie, we can afford anyone that the team really wants to pick up, so I'm not concerned. Howie Roseman has really earned that kind of equity, right? He has earned that equity. He has earned that kind of equity, right? So, all right, here we go. So, yeah, like I said, Saquon Barkley brings a lot to the Philadelphia Eagles offense. Oh, there he is. There he is. Ken James, he came back. He says, laugh now, cry later. Barkley always hurt. Laugh him out. Hey, listen. Y'all paid Josh Jacobs a lot of money. Okay? Y'all better hope he stay healthy. I'm not wishing nothing bad on him. But y'all better hope James Jones, y'all better hope Josh Jacobs stays healthy as well. You better hope. Ken, the way you talking, because I'm gonna look for you. Josh Jacobs, y'all gave that man 4 years, $48 million. Y'all better hope he stay healthy. I don't know what the guaranteed dollars are, but all I'm saying is just make sure Josh Jacobs stay healthy too. And I like Josh Jacobs. He's a good dude. Antonio King says, Tone, the Kings are definitely, or I say the Kings. Tone, the Eagles are definitely getting better. We just have to adjust linebacker. Yeah, I agree. Zach Bond, although it's a okay move, I'm not satisfied with it. I'm not satisfied with just Zach Bond, so I need more. Chris Kaufman Jr., welcome to the show. He says, what do you think of this Justin Fields trade buzz? It's funny, man. I really thought Justin Fields would either get traded to Atlanta or the Steelers. But I respect what the Steelers did more than anything. They decided to to bet low, and they have a real chance to get to an AFC. They have a chance to get to a conference championship, if you ask me. They have a chance to get to a conference championship with Russell Wilson and Mike Tomlin. They really do. So I'm not mad. And also on top of that, right, the Steelers, they're getting away with paying Russell Wilson the veteran minimum. while the Broncos have to pick up the large portion of that contract. I'm not mad at that. Same thing with the Philadelphia Eagles. The Philadelphia Eagles are getting away with playing Devontae Parker, and that's a move that's an underrated move. I keep forgetting about Devontae Parker in the slot. The Eagles signed Devontae Parker yesterday. They signed him yesterday, and they're paying him. They're getting away with paying him the veteran minimum because the Patriots have to pick up primarily the bulk of his 1 year, $4.6 million deal. So I say all that to say that the Justin Fields trade buzz has really shocked me because of the nature of what's been going on. The Atlanta Falcons, they gave Kirk Cousins 4 years, $180 million, $100 million guaranteed. I did not see that coming. I knew Kirk would get at minimum $40 million per season. I knew that. But what I didn't expect was for a team to go and jump out the window for him like that. $100 million in the bank like that, $180 million over 4 years. What is that? 180 million divided by 4, that's 45, right? $180 divided by, why are you doing it? 180 divided by 4, that's 45 million. They're giving him 45 million a year. That's again, I knew he would get 40 million or more, but damn, I didn't think the Falcons would jump out the window for him like that. That must mean they believe he can push them over the top. I don't think so. I think Kirk Cousins should make them the favorite in the NFC South. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they're bringing back Mike Evans. They're bringing back Baker Mayfield. I think they're bringing back Levante David, right? I think. They still got Chris Godwin. So, I mean, but also the Falcons were still in the hunt for the division without a quarterback. They went through like 2 different quarterbacks and they still were in the hunt for. I think they only lost the division by 1 game. So with Kirk Cousins, I think that does put the Falcons over the Buccaneers. It has to, right? It has to. And I don't think either team are world beaters, but just looking at the standings, okay, so in 2023, all right, the Buccaneers went 9-8, the Saints went 9-8, and the Falcons went 7-10. You don't think Kirk Cousins flips that record and makes them a 10-17? I think the Falcons become the narrow favorite in the NFC South because I don't trust Derek Carr and the Saints. I don't trust them at all. Baker Mayfield, can he do it again? He has Mike Evans. He has Chris Godwin. They got talent, but I think the Falcons are the narrow favorite in that division. With the Falcons went 7-10 without having a quarterback. Y'all don't think Kirk Cousins buys them 3 more wins? Hey, Cody, what's going on, my man? How you feeling, man? Good to see you. Chris Kaufman says Kirk Cousins will flame out in the playoffs. Like, oh yeah, of course. That's not a question. He's going to flame out. He's going to flame out in the playoffs. That goes without saying. But I still think they should be the narrow favorite for the division. I think, okay, because again, the Falcons went 7-10. That should buy the Kirk Cousins, bringing Kirk Cousins in with Drake London, Michael Pittman, Bijan Robinson. That offensive line is getting better. That defense has more talent on it now. Y'all don't think Kirk Cousins turns that 7-10 team to a 10-7 team at least? Y'all don't think that? I do. Wow, Antonio King still believes Tampa Bay wins the division. I mean, I'm not mad at it, but you know, And again, I don't think the Falcons are the bona fide favorite. I think they're a very narrow favorite to win that division. Very narrow. Wealthy Mind. He says, Tone, help me out. We have 13 minutes left in free agency to sign Simmons. Or you're asking me, do we have 13 minutes left? I don't know. That's a good question. I don't really know how I don't really know how much time is on the free agency right now. I don't really know. It's a good question. Let me see here. So here we are. Look at this, you guys. I got something to shout out to my man D Gunn. My man Derek Gunn is always plugged in. My man D Gunn is always plugged in. Let me pull this up. My man D Gunn is always plugged in. So this is what we got here. So shout out to my man D Gunn. He says it doesn't appear the Eagles are in the Justin Simmons sweepstakes any longer. Considering the amount of money they've already spent, Simmons' asking price appears to be too high. See? And my man Bill Colarulo says Cameron Curl may be the move. Cameron Curl may be the move, and he's still available. So, okay, Line Bigum, I got you. So this is the tampering period. That's right. This is the tampering period. Everything has to go on paper on Wednesday or today. But yeah, man, and D Gunn is usually very on point with this kind of stuff. So I think Justin Simmons is out. So currently, let's look at the free agents right now. Let's see here. Unrestricted. Let's see. Safety. All right, here we go. All right, let's try to get some. Let's try to bring some something interesting to the table here. All right, here we go. So let's zoom in on this. I know it's kind of small. Let's zoom in because the safety market right now is getting a little thin. It's getting a little thin right now. So these are all the safeties that have gotten paid. These are all the safeties that are signed. So Xavier McKinney signed a 4-year deal with the Packers. Darnell Savage signed a 3-year deal with Jacksonville. Brandon Jones signed a 3-year deal with Denver. Kevin Byard signed a 2-year deal with Chicago. Geno Stone, 2-year deal with Cincinnati. Alohi Gilman, 2-year deal. Jordan Whitehead, 2-year deal to Tampa Bay. Jonathan Owens, 2-year deal to Chicago. Jeremy Chin, 1-year deal. Deion Bush, 1-year deal as well. Saron Neal, 1-year deal to Miami. Jeremy Reeves, 2-year deal with Washington. Ronnie Harrison, 1-year deal with Indy. CJ Gardner-Johnson, 3-year deal with Philadelphia. Jordan Poyer, a 1-year deal with Miami. Jalen Mills, a 1-year deal with the Giants. So left on the market right now, these are the available safeties right now. What name stands out to y'all? What name stands out to y'all? I don't want Jamal Adams. Justin Simmons is clearly out of the question. I don't want Eddie Jackson. I don't want Quandre Diggs. I don't want Micah Hyde. I don't want Rashawn Jenkins. I like Tracy Walker. I think that's Darius Slay's cousin. Well, it's a lot of older guys in the safety market right now. A lot of older guys. Let's see who we got here. Cameron Curl's who they're talking about, right? Cameron Curl from Washington. Let's look at Cameron Curl's market value right now. So Cameron Curl at 24 years old has an average market value of $14.4 million per season. Do we see the Philadelphia Eagles finding a way to bring that number down? Hey, James Jones, you're a Washington fan. Tell me, is Cameron Curl any good? How good is Cameron Curl? Tell me that. How good is Cameron Curl, James Jones? Infamous. How good is Cameron Curl? I didn't watch him that much. Once again, shout out to the people on YouTube. Shout out to the people on YouTube. We got 70 viewers tuned in on the YouTube channel. We got 215 viewers tuned in from Twitter. So we have 285 viewers total. Thank you guys so much, man. Make sure you guys smash that like button, especially if you're on the YouTube side. If you guys are on the Twitter side, make sure you guys retweet. Make sure you guys also follow me and subscribe to my YouTube channel as well. The link is in my bio and on my Twitter page. And make sure you guys subscribe, hit the like button, hit the notification bell whenever I go live. Make sure you guys lock in. I appreciate all the viewers, y'all, all the viewers all over the place. Twitter, YouTube, you guys are amazing. So I appreciate you guys. Dewad Jones says, good tackler, and he hits hard. Okay. All right. So look, man, the safety market, there's a lot of young guys on here, but at the same time, who makes the most sense? Who's a fit, right? We got to think about that too. Who fits what Vic Fangio wants to do? I've always liked Javon Kearse in Dallas. Javon Kearse is very good. I've always liked him. I've liked Tracy Walker in Detroit. I think he's good too. But yeah, man. I don't know what the Philadelphia Eagles in particular are looking for at that position. But overall, I think so far free agency has gone very well for the Philadelphia Eagles overall. Overall, it's gone well. So again, let's recap. You signed Saquon Barkley to a 3-year, $37.75 million deal where he potentially can make up to $47 million in incentives. You guaranteed him $26 million. You sign Bryce Huff, edge rusher from the Jets, to a 3-year, $51 million deal. 26 years old, big body edge rusher, 6'3", 250 pounds. He's ascending, so you're betting on potential as well at $17 million per season. You bring back CJ Gardner-Johnson, 3 years, $33 million, average salary of $11 million per year. Battled injuries over the past couple seasons, but he has speed, he has athleticism, he plays the position with swagger, he's a playmaker, he forces turnovers. He's an enforcer. You bring in Devontae Parker, and as a slot receiver, veteran wideout, 31 years old, 6'1", 6'2", 215 pounds, brings size and physicality to that slot role, can move the chains for you. You're not asking him to be a big-time receiver. You're asking him to just be a slot guy. Block when needed, catch the ball when it comes to you. You signed Zach Bond, linebacker from the Saints, high-quality special teams player, impactful player when he had opportunities to start on defense, was versatile, was used in coverage, was also used to rush the passer at times. You bring in interior offensive lineman Matt Hennessy from the Atlanta Falcons, had to sit out the 2023 season because of a season-ending injury, but has plenty of starting experience at guard and center. He'll likely compete with Tyler Steen for the right guard spot as Cam Jurgens moves to the center spot, his rightful position. Am I missing anything? You extended Landon Dickerson to a 4-year, $84 million deal. A 4-year, $84 million deal for Landon Dickerson, making him the highest paid guard in the NFL at $21 million per season. You extend Jake Elliott as well. You extend Jake Elliott 4 years, $24 million, $6 million average per year. He's tied with Justin Tucker for the highest paid kicker in the NFL, in NFL history. Jake Elliott is coming off of a season in which he connected on a career high 93.8% of his field goals. Jake Elliott is arguably the best kicker in the NFL outside of Justin Tucker. So far, I think the Philadelphia Eagles did pretty well in free agency. And they did a good job in making the contracts work. They did a good job in moving the numbers around. I'm not mad at it, not one bit. I'm rolling. I'm rolling with that. So, overall, Eagles fans, I think the Eagles so far had a solid free agency. We're going to have to find a way to see if this thing works in the long haul. Flexing and Stepping, how you doing, sir? Welcome to the live stream. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, man. You know, I think the Eagles had a solid free agency. At the end of the day, you have to see all these moves pan out. But I like that they've addressed needs. I like that they have addressed needs. I have to respect that, right? They wanted to improve their running back position. The Eagles running game took a major hit in 2023 compared to 2022. Did it not? I respect the intention of trying to get your running game back on track. I respect that. But flexing and stepping, that was my concern, right? I'm glad you said this, because here's the thing. Although the Saquon Barkley move is sexy at face value, it's a sexy move. To me, I felt like, damn, maybe we could have spent that money on a legit linebacker. That's what I felt like. I felt like the running back market was saturated with talent. Did you have to go get Saquon? And look, I'm not mad at it, but for me, I'm thinking about the defense. I felt like the Philadelphia Eagles defense was their biggest problem. That's what I felt like. And I think I've been pretty consistent with that. I'm not jumping out the window for the Saquon signing, but I'm also not mad at it either. So far for me, I think the Eagles have had a solid free agency. That's where I'm at. Because on paper, you look at the offense and you say, okay, they're in pretty good shape. I don't think that was their issue. Maybe you need to bring in another number 3 receiver. You did that. Maybe you need to get more talent at running back. You did that, but you did it in a way that I didn't think you would. I felt like defense was where you needed to allocate more resources. But you did bring in a young ascending edge rusher in Bryce Huff. You did sign a linebacker to a 1-year deal in Zach Bond, who has versatility, who can drop back in coverage, who can also rush the passer. I don't know what his ceiling is, but I need more at linebacker. David Mac Perez says we need youth on defense. And I talked about that too. I told you guys a while back that I'm totally on board with going through a youth movement on defense. I'm totally on board with that. And so we can get younger and we can actually groom these guys. So, and remember, we've been loading up the defense with a bunch of mercenaries over the past few years. I think it's time they draft some guys and really build up that foundation, really build up that farm system, okay? I think that's important too. So, look, we can split hairs. We can break this down however we really want, but I think we all can agree that the Philadelphia Eagles had a solid free agency. Solid. I'll even say good. I think the Philadelphia Eagles had a good free agency. I genuinely believe that. Howie Roseman is showing why he deserves the respect of the people. He's showing why Howie vision is a real thing. I always got to respect teams. I always got to respect organizations for taking swings. I don't respect organizations that sit on their hands, like the Cowboys. I got to respect it. I can't respect a team for not taking a swing. Are you trying to win a Super Bowl or not? Are you trying to win big or not? You got to take swings in this game. You got to take risk. The 49ers, they brought in Christian McCaffrey last season. They took a risk. They traded Trey Lance and bought in to Brock Purdy. They took a risk. The Eagles, they paid Jalen Hurts. They took a risk. They traded Carson Wentz and told Jalen Hurts to lead this team. They took a risk. The Eagles traded for A.J. Brown, took a risk. Signed Hassan Reddick, took a risk. Traded for Kevin Byard, took a risk. Traded for Robert Quinn, took a risk. You cannot win in this league without taking some calculated risk. I'm always going to respect the team that's trying to win. I don't respect teams that half-step it. 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Are we rebuilding? Are we not rebuilding? No. Take your pick. Take your pick. And Deontay in space with time. I like that name. You bring up a good point too. Nolan Smith, you got to take a jump this year. Nolan Smith has to take a jump this year. He has to. The Eagles brought BG back and they signed Bryce Huff. So as of right now, the Eagles' edge rushers are Josh Sweat, Hassan Reddick, Brandon Graham, Bryce Huff, Nolan Smith. Either Hassan Reddick and Josh Sweat, one of those guys won't be here. So again, what could the Eagles get back for Hassan Reddick? What could the Eagles get back for Josh Sweat? It all remains to be seen. But Nolan Smith has to take a leap. But like I said before, I respect teams that show you day in and day out, week in and week out, year in and year out, that they're trying to win. They're trying to win. Look, I may not agree with giving Kirk Cousins $180 million, but guess what? They're trying to win. And I respect it. What are the Cowboys doing? Hey, look, I even respect what the Giants did. They traded for Brian Burns. They're trying to win. They got Kayvon Thibodeau. They're trying to win. The Commanders, I respect their moves. They're trying to win. What are the Cowboys doing? They still got to figure out what they're gonna do with Dak Prescott. So look, I respect teams that take calculated risk. That's just my mindset. That's just how I feel about it. So, you guys, I appreciate y'all. This has been a hell of a show. We're having fun. We're back at it. The content is flowing. And I'm so grateful for you guys being here. Once again, we have 226 people watching on Twitter, and we got 52 people watching on YouTube. That gives me 278 live viewers at this moment right now. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, for supporting Chalk It Up Sports. It goes a long way. And I do not, and I repeat, I do not take any of this for granted. So, without further ado, I'm your guy, Tone DeShields II. You guys were locked in on Chalk It Up Sports, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge it to the game. One love, stay humble, stay healthy, and most importantly, stay hungry. And we out here, you guys.